while we're sitting here at camp for a few days and the weather is nice, we decided it would be a good time to install our door stop. We bought a Vancillary sliding door stop DIY kit a couple years back. Never had the opportunity to do it. It was never the right time. Weather was bad. You have to let it sit for the 24 hours, so we can't open and close the door fully. We thought this would be a great time to do it. We can just adjust our lifestyle for 24 hours. The weather's perfect. Let's do it. What this will allow us to do is open the door only part way and have it lock in place. If we're parked on a slope or something, it won't just shut or open all the way depending on which way we're leaning. It's a great way to be able to keep the door open part way without having to open it all the way and lock it in place. So let me show you what's in the box and then we'll get to the installation. Let's go over what comes in the box. There's a little company card here with a QR code. This will give you printed instructions on how to install the door stop. Couple alcohol pads to clean the area you're going to be working on. Some JB Weld. There's also a little popsicle stick in here to mix the JB Weld. Glove to keep your hands clean. It's a little like Scotch-Brite pad to just kind of scuff up the areas before you put the JB Weld on. And this little guy here is the door stop. That's all it is. That little divot in there will allow the roller from the door to set in there and stay in place. A few more things you'll need that I forgot to mention, the stuff that came in the box. You're gonna need a Sharpie marker. You need a tape measure, some paper towels in case you need to clean anything up, and some cardboard to mix the JB Weld on. I'm just gonna use the box that it came in. One thing to consider when you decide on where you want your door stop to be, you know, how far open you want your slider to go. We have the back side of our stove cabinet right here. So we don't want it so close to the stove cabinet edge, you know, line up right with it, because going in and out of the van, this will be in our way. So we want it open slightly more than that. That gives us plenty of room to open the screen, come in and out. We're not bumping into the edge of the door every time we have it latched into the door stop. So that's something to consider. Once you determine where you want your door open, you know, how far you want it open, take your Sharpie and there's a roller down here. You want to mark where that roller is. So on the front edge of the track that it rides on, you want to just mark where the center of that is. So just put a little mark in your Sharpie right there, so you know that's where the center of the door stop is going to be. And then there's the mark right there. Now we need to find the center of this track because we don't want the door stop to be too far against the body of the van or too close to the edge. We want it right in the middle. So I don't know if you can see that or not, but there is a defined line in the dirty track there that shows where the middle is. So I'm going to go ahead and put a little mark. This is where the tape measure comes in handy. 3 to 4 inches on either side of my center mark on the center of the track on the flat part of the rail. And that will tell me where to line up the stop when I get it in there. So I'm right here. Go make a mark there and a mark here so I know, and then the center of my track is right here, and the center of my track is right here. Now I'm going to roll the door and eyeball it and make sure that that is correct. So if I come this way, yep, that mark hits the center of the wheel. And that mark hits the center of the wheel, so perfect. And I went ahead and put just a couple Sharpie marks on each end of this in the center. So when I lay this down in the track, I can kind of line that up with where my center marks are. That'll further help me to center it in place. So the next thing you do is scuff up the back of your door stop here with the little scratchy pad that they give you. Just get that good and scuffed. Like so, and you're going to want to do the same to the track here in the area in between the marks you made earlier. So give that a good scrape. And then you take your alcohol pad here and you wipe the back side of that piece, and also wipe the track here in between your marks, making sure you don't erase your Sharpie marks. Give that a good wipe down. So with the JB weld, you gotta pop the top here, and we want to do equal parts. So I'll put a little bit of that right there. They give you a whole ton of this stuff. Pop this. So this is the hardener. Put that right next to it. Ooh, that's runny. I should have kneaded it first. Let me give it a little knead. Let's see if that's any better. Oops. There, that's better. Let's start over here. Let me get another piece of stuff here. Use the top of this. It's still kind of runny. It's about equal parts, I guess. And just mix this all up till it's a nice uniform gray color. Like that. Now this is the messy part. I'm going to throw this glove on so I can hold this without getting my hand all nasty. This is such a small thing. So you want to just kind of paint this on here. Smooth layer, get the ends real well. And then I was trying to figure out how to go about holding this while I put it on. And I thought, you know what? If I just take a little piece of tape, put it on there, that'll hold it, and I can get it on the rail and put it in place. All right, now we put the center of this in the center of my line and in the center of the rail, just like that. Just like that. And it's got a second to move it around. It's not just like a quick, solid grab. So that's good right there. I'm going to push that down in place. And we can leave the tape on that until it sets. I'm going to grab this other alcohol pad and just kind of gently wipe away any extra that's on the outside here without moving it. Kind of clean it up a little bit. All right, well that's how to install it. We're gonna let it sit for 24 hours before we can test it out. All right, it's the next day. Let's check on that doorstop. This is the doorstop, completely installed, and everything is set and dry. It's in there perfectly in line. Sir, I'm making a video. I know. Your dinner's cooking. You just need to just wait. Got that in there perfectly in line. Let me shut the door here and show you. Let me grab that. So when that roller comes up, let me do this here real quick. When that roller comes up on the door, it's gonna line up right there in the middle. And it stays, keeping the door in place until we give it a shove in either direction. Perfectly centered, keeping the door right where it needs to be. And that's in there good. It's not gonna go anywhere. If we're parked on a slope, it's gonna stay right where it is. If we wanna open the door all the way, we just give it a little tug very easy like that. And we can open the door all the way, and it'll lock into place on this end with the natural lock of the door. When we want to close the door, we just give it a little push here. It's going to hit the edge of that door stop. Give it a little push, sets right back into the slot. Continue pushing and it goes right over. So that's the Vancillary door stop for your slider door on your van.